Are you making your car's paint look dull without even realizing it? Well, I've been on a mission to make cars look as shiny as possible for the last 20 years. And one of the things that I've learned is that it's not always the obvious mistakes that cause swirl marks and scratches. So coming up, I'm going to share some of the ways that you could be scratching your paint so you can stop doing them. But hang on a second. I thought this video was all about your paint looking dull. Why are we talking about scratches? Well, many cars used to have something called single stage paint, which basically just meant that it didn't have a separate layer of clear coat on top. This car happens to be one of them. And when these single stage cars sit out in the sunshine for a long time, they start to get really dull looking, almost like a chalky appearance. A red car like this will actually start to look pink, and it's all thanks to the UV from the sun, and a lack of protection, of course. If your car has a modern base clear paint job, it won't suffer from the same problem. That means that if it's starting to look dull or has kind of like a grayish tinge to it, it's caused by something else. And that's where something called marring comes in, which is really just thousands or even millions of microscopic scratches in your clear coat. Now you see where I'm going with this. Your car isn't dull, it's scratched. And of course, there are some obvious ways that it gets scratched, like using the death brush at a coin-operated car wash. But there's also some lesser known ways that you could be creating those little micro scratches that are ruining your paint's finish. It happens over time as these seemingly little things start to stack up. Eventually, it turns into death by 1,000 paper cuts. So for starters, you're gonna have to lose the quick touch-ups. If your car is dusty or dirty enough for it to bother you, just wash it properly. Unfortunately, that means saying goodbye to your California duster and your quick detail spray. You can still use the spray in other ways, just stop using it to remove dust from your car. It's meant for leftover streaks and water spots after you wash your car. It doesn't have enough lubrication or cleaning power for removing dirt. Now, if you truly want your paint to stand out from everybody else's, you need to have the mindset of no contact is good contact. Every time we touch our paint job, we run the risk of marring it, even when you wash it safely. But obviously, we have no choice but to touch it sometimes. You gotta clean your car. This is why proper washing and drying techniques are so important. It minimizes the risk in a big way. I shared my favorite method in this video, but don't leave this current video until you're done watching it or you're gonna kill my retention. Drying your car safely is equally as important as how you wash it. Ideally, if you can blow it dry completely without touching it at all, that's your best bet. But most of us still need to use a towel. So just make sure that you use a drying aid like a ceramic spray like this or a quick detailer or something. That way you're not wiping a totally dry surface. And whatever you do, don't dry wipe your paint with a towel, whether it's dusty or clean. Even a super soft, fluffy one can still cause swirl marks if you use it incorrectly. Remember, the term microfiber isn't like Latin or something for will never cause scratches ever, no matter what. It's microfiber, not magic. Unless you're doing a photo shoot for a movie poster, why the heck are you leaning on it, man? Get off the car! I don't care how tired you are. If you care about your paint, you never lean on your car. If you're wearing jeans or something with metal on them, it can cause real damage. But even if you're wearing that soft Adidas tracksuit that your grandma bought you for graduation, you can still put scratches in your paint. Unless the car is perfectly spotless, think of what the dirt is doing underneath the weight of your body and then with the friction of you moving around. No good. Also, why are you still able to fit into that tracksuit? What's your secret? Now, with all that said, one situation where it can be really hard to avoid leaning on your car is when you're working on it. For example, if I'm trying to reach deep down into my engine bay, I'm probably going to have to lean on a fender. We want to avoid that as much as possible, but sometimes you just have no choice. So try using one of those mechanics mats. But make sure it's clean and hasn't been previously used on a dirty car. Also, give the panel a quick rinseless wash to make sure that it's as clean as possible before you lay that mat down on top. Still not a great situation, but cars break down and you gotta fix them. Something a lot of people disagree with me on is using a car cover, specifically an indoor one. And I still haven't changed my mind. This car hasn't been moved in like 4 or 5 months. Hasn't been washed either. I don't cover it up because number one, it's stored in a clean, dry building. And number two, dragging it across that super soft paint is bound to put swirl marks in it. The problem here is that we would be touching the paint when it's not perfectly clean. And that's really the number one rule in all of this stuff. So there's a possibility of even a little bit of dirt being on the surface. And then when that gets trapped in between the paint and the cover, when you slide it on, you can create some swirl marks. Some people might say that the higher quality covers have microfiber linings inside of them. But we just talked about how even a fluffy, high quality microfiber towel can still scratch your paint. So why would a cover be any different? The only way to be certain that there's no dirt on the surface at all is to wash it immediately before putting the cover on. So just do that, right? Okay, cool. Now you've just trapped moisture underneath the cover, and that's going to open up a whole new world of problems. So instead, I just let it collect dust. I would far rather remove a layer of dust with a basic wash in the springtime than remove scratches with a paint correction. One argument that people have for covers is that there is sort of like the lesser of two evils when you're parking a car outside and you want to protect it from the sun baking on it and things like tree sap and bird crap falling on it. But I've seen enough cars with the paint on the edges of the body worn right through from a cover flapping in the wind to disagree with that one too. The solution to that problem isn't to use a cover, it's to find a better place to store your car. If you care about it that much, then act like it. Get it indoors. Now, just like they used to say about me back in grade 7, here's a weird one. We all vacuum out our interiors, right? I sprung for the upgraded professional hose. How on earth is this gonna scratch my paint or make it dull? Well, I'll show you, Jimmy. When you vacuum your car, do you do this? Well, you could be scratching your paint. Look at the ribs on this hose. Now consider the motion of it moving back and forth. Yes, it's a painted surface, but it's so much worse than that. You see, this is a door jamb. And when we're measuring paint thickness with a gauge before we polish our paint, we always use this as a reference point. That's because the factory sprays the least amount of paint in here because they know that it's not exposed to the elements. It saves money. So it's already super thin, but it gets even worse because we're rubbing on an edge here. Edges are notorious for having less paint on them simply because of how it lays down when it's sprayed. This is a recipe for a dull patch in this area over time, and while it might not seem life-changing, it's something that you will care about if you're serious about caring for your paint. So what are you supposed to do about it? Well, for starters, try to use your left hand to hold the hose up and off of the door sill, and then you can vacuum with your right hand. Obviously I'm holding the camera so I can't really show you that, but you can also do what I do and actually pinch it in between your legs. And then when you go to vacuum, you are up off the sill. That is one way to make sure that it never comes into contact with the painted surface. Your paint doesn't know the difference between summer and winter. Well, except for maybe a little shrinkage. I was in the pool! It blows my mind how many people will take the time to polish and wax their paint in the summertime, only to take a $5 brush to their paint in the winter to wipe the snow off after the first blizzard. If the condition of your paint was so important to you in the summertime when you were getting ready for Cars and Coffee, what do you think is happening when you're forcibly pushing the bristles across your likely very dirty paint job? Now, if it's light, fluffy snow, the solution is actually really easy. Grab the same leaf blower that you use after washing to dry your car off and go to town. Not only is this the safest way to remove snow without causing scratches, but it's actually a lot of fun too. This gets trickier when it's heavier packing snow though. It's probably not just gonna blow off. The best you can do is wipe the snow off with a brush lightly, but leave the layer that's touching the paint. This way you're not actually coming into contact with it. And the minimal amount that's left behind shouldn't be too big of a deal. Recently, I made a video about why you should polish your paint after using a clay bar. And it's exactly what we're talking about here today, marring. And because I'm an idiot, I actually scratched my Harley Davidson on purpose to prove my point, and kinda regretted it ever since. The truth is, you should only use a clay bar when you need to decontaminate the surface right before polishing. That way, any marring you create gets cleared up right away as soon as you hit it with the polisher. Doing the typical wash, clay, wax that a lot of detailers offer as a service will cause your paint to look dull eventually. It's not noticeable at first because the wax or sealant covers up the marring temporarily. But when it wears off, it'll reveal that the paint isn't in as nice of condition as you thought it was. So the lesson here is that clay bars should only be used when they're needed and not as like a routinely scheduled thing. So what are you supposed to do if your paint already looks dull? Well, don't worry, it's not too late. You can fix it with either a paint correction or a paint enhancement. But before you try to decide which option suits you best, make sure to watch this video.